History with Larry.
All right, Larry. It's another week.
It is.
Some more history.
Yeah,
and
I
last
do.
week we had tater tots and French fries.
That's right.
Which I think more people said French fries.
I knew it.
You got to go to
I think
Facebook and
it's
check it
right.
out. But yeah, this week it's Snickers.
You know what
or
it is?
Reese's.
I think it is because people haven't really had the experience
Of a tater tot?
Tater tots, yes.
Okay. Anyway, I don't even know how to process that. So, all right, go ahead. What do we have this week?
This week was actually inspired by Chuck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Our Chuck?
Yeah, our
Okay.
Chuck. So when we had the day of fellowship at his house, he
Sure.
brought up something I never heard of before. The Civilian Conservation Corp.
Oh, yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, you never heard of that?
Right.
So I never heard of it, but I looked at I do now.
You do now?
I do now. And that's so if I never heard of it, I figured a lot of other people never heard of it, especially people younger than me, which would
People
be quite
younger
a-
than you.
would be quite a
Babies.
Yeah, people
growing
younger than you
number of
haven't
people.
heard of
It's a
anything.
growing number, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
They haven't heard of a lot of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now this program, I'm going to say from the beginning, is I'm not typically a fan of government programs
Okay.
because
I'm still there.
Yeah, he is.
because they usually cost more and they're ineffective.
What about national parks?
Yeah, well, that's an exception. So
Okay.
I'd say,
And this is kind of around
and
that.
this is around that. And,
Sure.
Given the circumstance of how it was created, maybe it could have been different and not needed, but it was created, and a broken clock can be right twice a day.
Yep,
as they
usually is.
say. Yeah.
Unless
So
the brokenness is like following. Anyway. Yeah.
unless it's a broken clock like in my truck where it just constantly goes. According to my clock, it took me 15 minutes to get here.
Which is usually a 7-minute drive.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Anyways, the Civilian Conservation Corp was a program by FDR.
The CCP?
Oh no, that's different.
Okay.
Similar but different. That's the communist, the Chinese Communist
Oh.
Party. The
Well, no, the
CCP.
Russians. They had
Oh
the
yeah,
CCP.
that's right. CCP was that
Yeah.
was. I don't remember what it stands for in Russian. Now we're getting way off
Yes,
topic.
way off topic. Yes.
It was a program during the Roosevelt's New Deal for the Depression as a work program. It was instituted in 1933 and it ran for 9 years.
Okay.
Almost, about 9 years.
So can we say it's an old deal now?
Yeah, it's old.
Right.
But it would give young men a chance to work.
Young men.
Yep.
Well, it gives them the chance to work.
Yeah. Again, that reference a lot of people won't get.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
Like me.
You got to be old like me and you, but or worldly. Okay. So in 1933, men would go to work. They'd work in camps and they'd live at the camp. The camp would provide food and shelter necessities, and they get paid.
These were work camps, not
Work
like
camps, yeah.
summer camps.
Yeah, no, they were work camps. They get paid a whopping $30 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Is that a lot? It doesn't sound like
well,
it.
they were allowed to keep $5 of it,
What do you mean?
and they'd send $25 back home.
Okay, sure.
So they didn't have to pay for lodging. They didn't have to pay for food.
Okay,
medical
sure.
care was paid for. So really, I mean, in 1933, $5 was quite a bit.
If you say so.
I mean, and they didn't have to buy gas for their car because they weren't
Didn't have
going
cars.
right?
Oh.
So it was a chance for them to earn some money, but also to send it home to
Sure.
help their families. And some of the things that they did. Now, by the time it ended, it's amazing what they accomplished. For example, they planted 2.3 billion trees
Wow.
in the 9 years that they were in operation.
That's like $1 billion.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot.
over double a billion.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of trees. They also
I think
constructed.
they all did that in Mississippi too,
I think so.
because it's all trees.
They also constructed 126,000 miles of roads and trails.
In the parks.
Yeah,
Or
well,
real roads.
roads, and yeah,
Oh, okay.
and part of the trail system we have today
Okay.
was from the. But that's a lot.
Yes, it
a lot
is.
of miles. That's just incredible. And they laid 100,000 miles of telephone lines.
Wow.
Yeah, they were busy.
They could have just waited until we had cell phones.
As you
I
say,
know
that's
it,
kind of
yeah.
pointless. Huh?
I know.
Thanks.
But at the time, that was a nice thing.
Yeah, they fought forest fires,
Okay.
and they also built what they called check dams to help with erosion,
Okay.
like on hillsides and things like that.
Sure.
And fire prevention in forest lands. They cut like fire breaks through the forest and stuff. Like you said, it wasn't a summer camp. It was
Right.
actually a true work camp.
Yes.
And they built. This is an interesting thing. They constructed 45,000 bridges and buildings during their time.
45,000 bridges?
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Why don't we do this again? Because all of our infrastructure is falling apart. All those bridges are falling apart now.
I know, it's crazy. And also, they built hundreds of state parks,
Okay.
and with cabins. So the state parks they built with cabins, artificial lakes, and water systems for the park.
Artificial legs?
Lakes.
Lakes.
Oh, lakes. Okay.
So it was an amazing program. I was like, wow, what? I mean, you think of government programs today, and you're like,
Yeah.
But I mean, that was money well spent that they.
Yeah, I paid people and give them work, and it actually accomplished some good things.
Yeah, and they got stuff done. That's just, I was like, the more I read about it, I was like, that's pretty amazing.
45,000 bridges made by the government, though.
Yeah.
But it sounds like the government used to work. Like
Yeah,
when you
they
worked for
did.
the
Yeah, I
government,
know,
they actually
yeah.
did
At one
stuff.
point it did.
What?
The program actually came to an end for a couple of reasons. One was World War II broke out.
Oh, sure. Makes sense.
And but before that, they actually were in existence at the same time we entered the war. And they actually helped build airfields and expanded military bases in the United States. So they did work for the military. But they were having a hard time keeping men because they were leaving
To go to war.
to go to the war, to go to factories where
Sure.
they get paid more money.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually Congress, they needed the money funding the CCC for the war effort. So
Right.
they disbanded it in 1942.
Oh, that's too bad.
So, yeah.
Wow.
But I thought that was Chuck mentioned it when I was at his house, and I was like, I don't know, I've never heard of
Right.
that. And so I looked it up. I was like, wow, that is an amazing program
Yeah.
that they did all that. And
And this is coming from Larry, who is
I
not
know.
very pro government work.
yeah. So yeah, so if you get a chance to look up that, you can find more information about it. Most of the information I got was from I think it was the historychannel.com.
Okay, sure.
So
Yeah.
Interesting.
yeah.
Well, sweet.
pretty amazing.
Sounds pretty interesting. So go check out some more information
Yeah.
on what is it, CCP?
Civilian Conservation Corp.
Oh, CCC.
CCC, yeah.
Right.
CCP is different.
Yes.
Yeah, that's totally different. But
Well, the Russians were CCCP.
yes.
Right.
And the Chinese are the CCP.
They're the, yeah, anyway.
Chinese Communist Party.
Right.
Yeah, totally
Okay.
different. Totally
Yes.
different.
Yes.